Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, the rain has gone away again and we have another lovely sunny day. In this one I want to talk about why I didn't wear a watch for about 20 odd years and how I've actually now kind of broken that habit to wear one again, but it required a different device. I really do like wristwatches. I like them, they're very nice looking things. The one I'll show some B-roll, this is one that my mum gave me many years ago. It's nothing particularly special, it's just a fossil watch, but I love the design of it and I love the fact that it was a present from her and it was something I'll keep forever. Now I stopped wearing a watch mainly years ago because I was doing an awful lot of stuff outside, wildlife photography and stuff like that, and I'd be scrabbling around all over the floor. Also, having something shiny on your wrist is a bit of an issue when you're trying to photograph things that are terrified of you. So shiny things, not good. So I got out of the habit of wearing the watch and it sat on the side. And then I started riding motorcycles. Wearing a watch while riding a motorcycle is an absolute nightmare, which I'll explain. But I found a tip to get around this because this is what was killing it up until now. Apart from the added reasons why I've gone back to wearing a watch, because it's not the same device. One of the reasons I wanted to go back to wearing a watch to see the time is because you often need to know what the time is, and I don't necessarily always want to get my phone out to do that because it can be distracting. If you're trying to work, it takes longer to grab your phone out of your pocket or find your phone and look at it and blah blah, when you can just quickly glance at your watch. So it was never pushed hard enough just to know what the time is to go and start wearing a wristwatch again. And of course smartwatches came along and they've been out for years and years and years. It's a very developed technology at this point. So I've basically been looking at smartwatches for a long time, but realised that if you want a decent one, you're going to have to spend quite a bit of money, probably $150, $250, something like that. Something that's rugged enough and got enough functionality to make it worth it. And I'm never going to spend that much money on a smartwatch, especially when, you know, the batteries are built in and well, it's got a very limited lifespan and it depends on software updates and all that. It's not a watch that just needs power. I also, of course, looked at the cheaper watches, smartwatches you can find on Amazon for like, you know, 50, 60 quid, something like that. And they're all basically trying to look like an Apple Watch or a Samsung watch or something like that. And of course, most of them are actually terrible. And the main features which I would be interested in a smartwatch is things like sleep tracking, heart rate monitoring, the sort of the health stuff. Not ridiculous things that it absolutely can't do, because this is something about smartwatches that is very rarely brought up, that the back of the wrist is probably one of the worst areas of the human body to actually pick up these things, but whatever. It's like the heart rate monitors on them just don't work, and if you're going to have a wristwatch with all these extra functions that just aren't reliable, what's the point of having it? So that's why, again, I haven't ended up getting a watch. Then, Linus Tech Tips reviewed the CMF Pro Watch 2, which is made by the company Nothing. It's like CMF is their cheaper brand version they've come out with. They gave it good reviews. I had a look at it and I was like, do you know what? This literally is the watch I've been looking for. It looks great. It fits in with what I like style-wise. It does all the things I want it to. It does loads of stuff I don't need it to, so I don't care about that and have it all switched off. Like, I don't want messages coming to my watch. I don't want phone calls coming to my watch or anything like that. I just have it for health tracking, for like tracking my sleep and stuff, because it turns out I sleep an average of 6 hours. But I have been doing that for a very long time, and it used to be less, so, you know. And these watches are like 60, 70 quid, so they're in the same category as the cheap Amazon China specials that you get that are trying to rip some other company off or look like something else, which are actually just terrible. I mean, I'm sure, as you know, with Amazon you can find the same tool for £5, £10, £15, $20, $25. They're working on the basis that people will see all these options and go, well, the 25 one's probably the best one, the £5 one's too cheap, but the £10 one, that's £10, £15 one, that's about where I'd be happy to spend, so I'll spend that. They're getting the same product. They're just giving you a price that you feel happy with. So price and value in the lower tier stuff is not something you can really correlate because, as I say, they're just lying. Well, about a month ago now, I bought a CMF Watch Pro 2. I absolutely love it. It was very difficult for me to get used to wearing a watch again, to have something on my wrist all the time. Was annoying, but it's very comfortable because of the silicone strap on it. Don't worry, I'm going to stop in a minute and just show you this watch. The main issue I had, and this is the main point I'm making this video, other than to say to you, if you're looking for a smartwatch that's actually quite good, look at this one, it's a possibility. Wearing a motorcycle jacket and having to twist your wrist to move your arm with a watch on is very uncomfortable. If it's in the normal place you wear a watch. However, there is something you can do. So let me find a space up here to pull over. I will show you said watch, and I will show you how I've been wearing it that makes all the difference. And technically it probably functions better as well. Well, first thing is I'll put it back to the way normally you'd wear it. Okay, so that's with it the normal way around, and you can see when I try and turn my arm, it's just pulling on the leathers, which is very uncomfortable. And that, as I say, is because it's in the normal place, the normal way around. Well, if you flip it around to the inside of your wrist and then do it up, you don't have any of those problems because it's on a flat surface, not on the rounded part where you have, you know, the bone of your radius and ulna. These lumps, that's where they get in the way. So putting it on the inside is so much better. And because it's there, you just don't get any of the same problems you have. So if you have a problem wearing a watch riding a motorcycle, you have to flip it to the inside. So this is the CMF Pro Watch 2. It's got loads of different faces. It does loads of different things. This isn't a review. If you want to know about this watch, watch someone's review on it. And I mainly said because I haven't tested how accurate some of the features are, and I don't want to say that it's very accurate without testing that. It feels accurate, but I don't know for sure. But the feel and the build quality of this watch is way above 60 quid. And I think I know what CMF are doing, because all of their recent products that have come out, people have been raving about, saying this is really, really good for the price. This is quite amazing. Is that because they've found some secret formula to make good products for lower amounts of money? No. So the CMF brand is also making phones and a couple of other products, which have all, so far as I've seen, been given really good ratings and people really like them. So as I say, I don't think they have some magic formula for making products well and cheap. I think they are trying to buy a gap in the market. And the way you do that is clearly you build a really, really good product for a low price. And you get people really into the brand, and maybe you need to do that with a couple of things, and maybe because of the savings from, you know, the watch and a phone, because it's a lot of money together, someone's like, oh, well, I'll get the watch and the phone because maybe they work together better, although I've not seen anything suggesting that the CMF phone has got any extra features on it to use with their watch. You know, it'd be really crappy if a company made a product that only really worked properly with their phone. Apple, sorry. It's not like any really big companies do that, right? Now, I think inevitably what this means is in the future, the prices will start going up and the quality won't get much better because they're going to try and bring those people who are now on their brand on side. So what this means is that at the moment there's a high quality watch available for a lower than what it should cost price. I think they're actually probably losing money on them, or at least not making much, which probably would be better in the long run for everyone if companies just made a little less profit, but then, you know, they need your product to break more regularly then because they need another purchase or they need more money from that purchase. It's just the way the world works. This is not an endorsement for it as such, though. It's not a review saying you should go and buy one, because as I say, I've only had it for about a month. I haven't actually tested its features, but so far I can say that I'm happy with like the build quality of it and the features that I've been able to sort of see if it makes sense, and the things that it does track is very useful to me. It's got lots of other features I don't use, so I can't even talk about those. Now, I will say I'm going to put this in my Amazon store should I manage to find one that I can fit in there. If you buy it through that, you will give me a kickback, but I'm not suggesting you are. I'm just saying if the one of you go, yeah, do you know what, I'm going to try that, then I can earn a bit of money off of it. But this is not an endorsement, I want to be clear. There might be problems with them in the future. I don't know how long the battery lasts, stuff like that. Well, when I say the battery lasts, the actual life of you using it is great. I mean about, like, you know, how many charges over years will it take? Well, there you go. Hopefully that made sense. And until the next one, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.